It'll take time to restore chaos.
I want to preface this video by saying there is not a single joke in it. There is no comedy, no humor, no exaggeration. I might say funny things, but I am 100% serious about everything I say. I know you won't believe me, but I really do need to impress upon you how much I mean everything that comes out of my mouth. I went into some sexy songs for you knowing that it would probably be boring. The way people were talking about it made me think it would probably be that one Party Next Door song from All the Dogs stretched out to an hour and 10 minutes. Drake would mindlessly riff and moan his way through tracks, occasionally dropping a bar so painful it makes you laugh. P&D would show up every once in a while to remind you he exists and probably outshine Drake without even trying. The production would be moody and dark and kinda cool, but ultimately nothing stands out. There would be some nice, vibey, catchy highs, some boring, painful lows, and at the end of it, I would go about my day forgetting nearly everything about it by the time I went to bed. Hell, I might even like it a little. Preach was one of my favourite Drake songs, and I liked the vibe of Members Only, despite how radioactive its lyrics were, so who knows? Maybe I'll be surprised. I was indeed surprised. The first leg of the album is the most bland, which depending on your viewpoint can make it either the worst or the best part. Regardless, it's certainly what I was expecting. Moody, atmospheric beats that would go hard in like a depressing chill hop playlist, and Drake, and Party when he bothers to show up, crooning in a way that was probably made up as they were going along. CN Tower, the opener, epitomizes this. The instrumental barely exists, and the two vocalists' voices are so processed they sound like they were synthesized. Mothballs, by contrast, has a more interesting and dynamic beat, but Party is a non-presence, get used to that, and Drake does this weird verse towards the end that sounds like he's trying to rip off Young Thug. Something About You actually starts off decently, the beat is still vibey but also has presence, and Drake has a decent if unoriginal flow on it, but then the chorus comes on and it's literally just something about you, something about you, something about you, something about you, something about you for like half a minute. It's so stupid, I can't take the rest of the song seriously. Party has a verse which is fine, I guess, though there is this genius annotation for the line, "Slob on me, I know you want revenge." The genius annotation says that this is a reference to Future's line in King's Dead and how Drake wants to get revenge on him and Kendrick. If he is saying this to Drake, does that imply that Drake is giving Party head? Then we get to Crying in Chanel, which kinda kicks off a weird phase of the album where it's mostly just a bunch of Drake solo cuts on this collaboration album. Why? Party already feels like a feature most of the time anyway. Why even bother with the pretense at this point if you're not even gonna have him on half the tracks? Maybe he just didn't want to be on them because they were so boring. I don't know. The aforementioned Crying in Chanel has this actually kind of strange instrumental with this prominent crushed bass, some interesting ghosty vocal samples, even a beat switch on the outro. It's actually not bad, but Drake is just doing nothing on it. Spider-Man Superman is one of the better ones on the album. The instrumental again is pretty good, but it's just the melodies that Drake and Party are hitting. I'm already getting tired of them. You could copy paste that for most of these solo Drake cuts. It would be a waste of time, yours and mine, if I actually summarize them. Really, there are only 3 songs worth mentioning in this phase. Deeper, which is noteworthy for being the only solo Party track on this project. The beat is simple, but I like it, and Party sounds decent over it. Probably one of his better performances. Then you have Pimmy's Dilemma, which is this short interlude type thing that is actually my favourite song on the album. I love the guitar work, and Pimmy sounds fucking great on it. Only one problem. Why is it here? This is a song that doesn't feature Drake or Party on it anywhere, and while it has a similar mood to the rest of the album, it doesn't fit with the sonic landscape established at all, leading me to believe that Drake has, once again, just taken some random fucking song he liked and put it on his own album for no reason. I don't know why he keeps making a habit of this, but it's a really fucking bad look when the best songs on your albums are the only tracks that you are nowhere to be found on. And then there's Gimme a Hug. And Gimme a Hug is a turning point. This is when I went from being bored by the album to being almost frightened by it. Gimme a Hug is Drake's commentary on the Kendrick beef, which I've avoided mentioning up until now, and frankly it shows a terrifying level of delusion to the point that I unironically wonder if Drake suffers from some kind of psychosis. Drake, in trying to present himself as totally untouched and unfazed by the beef, reveals himself to have simply buried his head in the sand, refusing to learn from or even acknowledge what happened last year. Why would you say, oh yeah, what are they gonna do without me? Have girls twerk to dictionaries? When Kendrick literally made the song of the summer and followed it up with a greatest hits concert where the audience sang his songs back to him, followed by an album which was basically prep for the Super Bowl. Why would you say fuck a rap beef like you don't even care? When you were so butthurt that you lost, you sued over it. Why would you say I just want to get the party lit when Watch the Party Die was literally about willful institutional ignorance? Why would you say 1,000 niggas rapping murder shit and like 10 niggas that'll really do it? You are a Canadian actor who doesn't even write their own shit. And to top it all off, you decide to end the song on this image of you storming into a strip club screaming, "Where my hug at?" Is that hard in your universe? Do you think that makes you look... What do you think that makes you look like? This song is pathetic. It's almost parody. Like, I feel like this is the kind of song you'd make if you want to make fun of Drake, but crucially, it reframes this album's boring slog up until now in a much more horrifying light. With this context, the album becomes more than just boring Drake slop. It becomes a glimpse into the mind of Drake himself, a mind that is devoid of any self-awareness, any curiosity, any thoughtfulness, any ability to perceive reality. It is just a void, a yawning chasm that springs forth thanks to just an absolute stubbornness that prevents Drake from even considering the possibility that maybe there's something wrong with him. After listening to this song, I am certainly convinced there is. And if I wasn't, Meet Your Padre certainly hammers that point home.
Text your friends que pasa, vamos, bring them to mi casa.
To be honest, I can't really talk about the rest of the album, especially not after this point. I kind of just go into this horrified fugue state until it finally ends. But I do want to talk about something. The title, Some Sexy Songs for You. Who is you? The entire album is full of nothing but Drake and Party talking about how their relationships are falling apart due to a lack of trust, making fun of their exes for how miserable they are, how you should cheat with them, typical rap shit about fucking tons of bitches, and in Drake's case, how he harasses sex workers for hugs. Even the one song that I unironically like, Pimmy's Dilemma, is about a woman who cannot trust her man to go out with without cheating on her. If there is a person out there who is turned on by this shit, it is probably a young, insecure, nice guy who listens to Jordan Peterson and hate wanks to the idea of his ex being with another man. If I'm with someone and any of these songs come on, you would have to glue me in, otherwise I'm straight out the door. There are a million other artists, Tinashe, Jodeci, The Edge of Daybreak, even Kendrick Dictionary Lamar has songs I would fuck to. I would rather fuck to JPEG Mafia, and that man literally has an album called Scaring the Hoes. To try and wrap up this thing, Some Sexy Songs for You is a tribute to willful ignorance, to emotional immaturity and stagnation. It is to me the absolute death of creativity, which is itself a process of thought and reflection, and is the absolute worst piece of media I have ever experienced in my life that could still be reasonably considered art. The fact that it exists is nothing less than an indictment of where society is right now. And also Party Next Door is there. Is that an overreaction? Maybe. But at least I didn't sue him over it. Shout out to my patrons for their support, in particular my tier 3 patrons Michael Coolwood, El Pagante and Fox. Check out my Patreon, main channel and music in the description below, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.